Yes, everybody. Russ, the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe and well. England are due to kick off their Euro 2024 campaign against Serbia later on this evening. Happy Father's Day to everyone as well, if you're obviously a father. Now, we put a video out yesterday about players that I said, too good for England. Likes of Billy Bonds, Mark Noble, Julian Dix, people like that, Marlon Harewood, and various others. And someone contacted us and said, look, it'd be good to sort of go through the players that did play for England, particularly with the Euros well under the way and obviously England due to kick off. And the possibility of Jarrod Bowen adding to his number of England caps. So I did a bit of delving. As me, I like to have a little delve around, have a little look at, see what's happening, and throughout since they started keeping records, I wonder if you could hazard a guess of how many players have played for England whilst playing for West Ham. Pause for you to give me an answer, although I can't hear it, obviously. It's 44. Only 44 players have played for England whilst playing for West Ham since 1911. So over 100 years, 115 years almost, 44 players have played, which equates to 478 caps. Now, considering one player took out that 44 was 108, that's 370 spread across 43 players. It's not a lot, is it? It's just over 10 per person. And as I said, one of them accounts for 148, another one accounts for 49, another one accounts for 47, another one accounts for 43. So I thought, let's have a look. Let's have a look at these 44 players. And some of them a bit surprising in terms of the lack of caps they got, but they all play for West Ham, innit? It's always been the way. And it started off in 1911 with George Webb, 2 caps for England in that year, in that season for George, the first West Ham player to represent England whilst playing for West Ham. That was followed up some 10 years later, 12 years later, by Vic Watson. Obviously, there was a world war in between those, but still, Vic, who is still our top goal scorer of all time and will forever be that. To be honest, he had 5 caps across a 7-year period, despite being one of the top goal scorer in our history. Then 1923 was a good year for West Ham and England. Jack Tresden, 2 caps in 1923 to go with Vic Watson's cap, and then Billy Moore, not Bobby Moore, Billy Moore, with 1 cap in 1923. Billy Brown in 1923, 1 cap, and not being funny, that haircut is so in fashion now. That was 100 years ago, and now it's back in fashion. That sort of the fade and floppy on the top wouldn't be out of place in a 195 or Faces nightclub for sure nowadays. Then Ted Houghton, 6 caps in 6 years, from 1923 to 1929. Then Jimmy Ruffle 1926 to 29, 6 caps over that period. Then it was Stan Earl, again, decent haircut. 1927, 1 cap. He was then followed by Jim Barrett. Look at that shirt. Look at that old West Ham shirt. 1928, 1 cap. And again, that big hair that all the kids have got, all the youngsters have got, all the youths have got nowadays. Len Gordon, he looked like a character. 1937 to 1939, 14 caps across a 2-year period. After him, we had Jackie Morton for solitary cap in 1937. Ken Brown, one of the West Ham's greats. Only 1 cap, and that was in 1959. Then after that, someone who you may have heard of, Bobby Moore. 1962 to 1973, played for England whilst playing for West Ham. 108 caps, and obviously the only Englishman to lift the World Cup in 1966. I don't know if you remember that. Budgie Byrne, 2 years from 1963 to 65, 10 caps over that period. Then Sir Geoff, 7 years playing for England whilst playing for West Ham. Just one shy of 50 caps, 49 caps. And then to add to the trio, Martin Peters, 66 to 70. His time at West Ham was 33 caps. And obviously the three of them instrumental in the World Cup final. Who's next? We've got Frank Lampard Sr., 2 caps across an 8-year period. That's absolutely crazy for one of the top appearance makers at West Ham of all time. Sir Trevor, our second Lord, Sir of the Knight of the Realms, our second Sir, 1974 to 82 for England, 47 caps. Dev with 8 caps across the 3-year period. Alvin Martin gone away, but we don't care. First cap was the year I was born, 1981, and went on to make 17 appearances for England, including the World Cup, if I remember correctly. Paul Goddard, a solitary cap in 1982. TC, 3 caps off the back of the season, the 86 boys of 86. 3 caps that time, 86 to 88 at West Ham. Rio Ferdinand, 10 caps across 3 years. If I remember correctly, in 96, he was with Glenn Hoddle, took him and Joe Cole to the training camp, if I remember correctly, as part of the training party. Ian Wright, 1998 rather, 2 caps whilst at West Ham. Stuart Pearce, 2 caps whilst at West Ham, 1999. He won Hammer of the Year that year, I believe. Frank Lampard Jr. with 2 caps. Michael Carrick with 2 caps. A man who was, so underutilised by England, it's unbelievable. He only made 34 appearances for England in his career, with 27 of them coming from his time at Man United. And should have played a hell of a lot more. But it was in that golden era, wasn't it? Joey Cole always believes in his soul. 10 caps across a 2-year period, 2001-2003. Obviously, in 2002-03 season, West Ham were relegated. So a lot of these players moved on and had further careers at Chelsea and whatnot for Joe. But his time at West Ham, 10 caps at West Ham when he was playing for them. David James, similar thing, 17 caps. Obviously, was we relegated in 02-03 season. Trevor Sinclair, similar thing, 11 caps in that period, including 2002 World Cup. Was it Japan and Korea? I think it was. Paul Konchesky, a solitary cap in 2005. Kieran Dyer, a solitary cap in 2007. Matthew Upson, 14 caps until we were relegated in 2010. Dean Ashton, 1 cap for England. Obviously, the next time he was selected for England was the whole Sean Wright-Phillips incident. Indeed, when we interviewed Dean, we talk about playing for England and the call-up and all that type of stuff, so check that out. It's amazing. Rob Green, 11 caps. I thought it was more than 11 caps, but that's what it was. 11 caps for England during his time. Carlton Cole, another man who always believes in his soul, 7 caps over a very short amount of time at West Ham. Scotty Parker, 3 caps in 2011. Andy Carroll seeing a solitary cap in 2012 whilst playing for West Ham. Stuart Downing, a cap in 2014. This coincided when Big Sam moved Stuart to the tip of the diamond, if you remember. Aaron Cresswell, the man with the magic hat, 3 caps in the final seasons at the Boleyn, basically moving into the London Stadium. Joe Hart, 4 caps during his time at West Ham. Declan Rice, 43 caps for England whilst playing for West Ham. Obviously, heavily involved in the England setup going into the Euros. Jesse Lingard, 5 caps in his loan spell when he was at West Ham. And Jarrod Bowen, currently on 8 caps. Obviously, we know Jarrod is in the England party, England group, England squad for the 2024 Euros. So could well be adding to those 8 caps. And that's the current list. That is the current list of players who played for West Ham and England at the same time and how many caps they had during that time. Obviously, only 5 players of all time at West Ham have amassed more than 20 caps. Maybe Jarrod Bowen will be the next one. Let's hope so. Let's hope so, because it means A, he's in the England squad, B, he's hanging about for a little while. And that's it, my friends. That's it. Something a bit different today. I hope you appreciate it. So, as I said, we are very much looking forward to the Serbia game later on today. Hope you get you in a bit of a mood, get you ready. I suggest listening to Terry Venables, God rest his soul. It'll be on YouTube. England Crazy, my favourite England song of all time. It's very, very funny and it's very good. And it's very catchy. Can't get in your head. But anyway, until then, my friends, don't forget to like, comment, share all that good stuff. Go back and check out our video we did yesterday of all the players who were too good for England and didn't play for them because they were too good for England. They were basically West Ham legends, to be honest, and didn't get a look in. The likes of Billy Bonds, the likes of Julian Dix, the likes of Mark Noble, etc., etc. Take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, my friends, and come on, you bloody, bloody Irons.